I want to talk to you today about creating chemistry through using icebreakers. Maybe your group has just begun to get to know each other. How do we get to know each other faster? How do we put the gas pedal on understanding who we have in the group? Well, an icebreaker is a question designed to help you get to know the person and hopefully create connection, understanding, and appreciation for them and for their journey that God has them on. Sometimes it can be tied to the topic, but a lot of times it's really not. Let's just face it, you have lots of different types of people in your group. I saw one time a person talked about the different people who may be in your relationships. There's introverts and extroverts. There's thinkers and feelers, optimists and pessimists. There's athletes and artists. There's Republicans and Democrats. There's people who read Revelation literally, those who read it metaphorically, and those who don't read it at all. I add to that list, there are country music fans and there are normal people. There are Canes fans and those who have yet to see the light. But somehow they've all found their way into our small groups, and we're trying to create community from these very, very different people with fascinating different types of challenges. Now, this could be difficult, but it can also be a great, rich environment to learn from each other and grow in each other and be connected to each other. So this is really a chemistry challenge, and we have to allow for space for people to be known and to belong. So we want them to be with Jesus, become like Jesus, and do what Jesus did, but we want to do it together. We are better together. So one way to do that is using icebreakers, having them share stories, or at least part of their story of life. And one question can go a long way. Let me give you an example of some icebreakers that I've used. I've asked one time, who was your hero growing up? And some would talk about Superman or Batman or whatever, but others talked about the neighbor next door and how they didn't grow up with a father and how that person was their hero because of the way they lived their life, or they had a neighbor that went through a major crisis that really inspired them, or was this person who led them to Christ. It's a great question. Or how about this? What were the hardest challenges you faced when you were 18 years old? And you find out about how they couldn't afford college, or how their parents had just divorced, or other things that just give you insight into who they are. What did you accomplish by the time you were in sixth grade that you were most proud of? Some of them actually really accomplished things in sports or academics, and it really formed them to be who they became. How did your family celebrate holidays? You'll find out that some of them didn't celebrate certain holidays and others did. And you'll find also some common ground. We did that exact same thing. We had that exact same devotion time as our family. We did this, we did that. There's connection there. Or it could be more modern. What was your high of this week? What was your low of this week? You find out more about them. Or where did you live when you were 10 years old? And you found out you lived in the same town. I was in one group where I found out we were actually at the same school. So it's amazing to see how you can use an icebreaker to get to know each other. And again, the purpose of an icebreaker is to know each other, is to get to know each other, to connect with each other, and ultimately to build trust with one another. When you know their story and it connects to your story, there's a trust that's built there, and that's really what we want in our groups.